welcome to Mama Ruth's house. So glad you stopped in. This is a very special episode. This is episode 8. This is my 8th of our candy episode. And these are going to be It's Easy Christmas Gumdrop Nougat. And it's that white candy that we used to get at BRACH'S that has the gumdrops in it. I've cut green and red gumdrops, not the spice ones, but the fruity ones. And so far, you have to melt this and mix it. You're just melting everything in indirect heat. So I've made a double boiler. I just put water in the bottom and put my other pan on top. And we're waiting for the water to boil. And it makes a really thick candy, so that when you cut it, because it makes 60 pieces. So they're really small, but they're going to be thick when I cut them, which is kind of how they are, maybe squares. So I have 2 tablespoons of butter in here melting. I have 2 packages of white chocolate chips. And then 2 10-ounce packs of marshmallows, but these are 16 ounce, so I'm going to use one whole and then part of another one. Okay. That should do it. So you're just going to continuously stir this. It's almost similar to making your marshmallow treats or something like that. We're just melting everything. It's going to take a minute to get it to start. It looks like it's starting to melt a little bit. When I make anything like this, I usually put the butter in first in the bottom. This is going to be a little tricky because it's going to be kind of high for me. I think you guys can see. I'm going to turn it down once it starts melting, so the camera, so you can see. I don't know if you're going to be able to see inside this pot because it's being so high, but we'll see what we can do. So we're just making this, we're cooking this over indirect heat. We don't want it directly over the heat. We're not actually cooking it, we're just melting it. My water is just getting hot. It's not really boiling. I probably started it just a little bit early, but I wanted to get going. I'm kind of excited about this one. This one you need to stir. You don't want anything to stick and it's going to be a sticky mixture. So don't be alarmed because that's normal. Once everything melts, we're going to take it off the stove, off the heat for a couple of minutes, and then we'll add our gumdrops. Well, we'll see. It's supposed to make 60, and this is 7 Weight Watcher points for each if you're following the plan. I've just decided that I wanted to count the points and everything, so just in case I did choose to have something, then I would know how many points it was. It's starting to melt a little bit. So we're going to mix this until it's smooth, and then we'll remove it from the heat. I started it a little too soon because I should have let the water boil a little more. It smells really good with the chocolate in there. I have not made this one before. I'm not going to lie. But I wanted to try it. And you guys will get to try it with me. Sometimes every year I'll make the old standbys, but then I always like to try a couple of new ones as well. So it's starting to melt. We're getting it. I know I've been saying that for a while, but it is. I'm getting a workout with this one. I don't know if you guys can tell, it's kind of melting a little bit more. It's going to be hard for me to bring the camera over here, so I don't know if I'm going to, because it's so high up, I don't think it's going to be able to see. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I could do it like that. Next time I make this, I'll make sure my water is very hot because I think that made it to where I had to stir it a lot longer. But it's starting to melt now. I know I've been saying that for 15 minutes, but it is. Still a little lumpy. I just got to get it all melty. Definitely use a wooden spoon. It would be really hard, I think, without one. Still got a few lumps in there, but as soon as that gets all out, we'll be ready to rock and roll here. Starting to get smoother. It's starting to get very smooth, so it's starting to get there. Just has a couple more lumps in there, and then I think we're good. I'm going to take it out of this and put it over here. It says for 2 minutes. I'm going to turn this off. So we're going to do it for a couple minutes. So we just let it cool for 2 minutes, and then we're going to put our gumdrops in. I think I'm going to get rid of this water because I don't want to accidentally, it's almost been 2 minutes. Then we're going to add our 1.5 cups of green and red gumdrops that I cut up. Then after it cools, I'm just going to turn it out and then cut it. All right. It says just to mix well. They're no lie, it is a sticky mixture. I think they're pretty much in there. Try to turn it out into that pan. I'm sorry you can't see as good as I would want you to, but for that sticky of a mess, your pan is not very dirty. All right. All right. I'm going to leave that sit. And when it gets cool, I'll show you what I'm going to do. Well, hello. Our candy is ready. This is our easy Christmas nougat candy. And we're going to cut it. I'm going to try to make it to make 64 pieces. That's what it says. It makes 60, but I was doing the adding, trying to figure it out, and I think it's going to make 64, but we'll see. And please bear with me. This is the first time I made this one, but it looks pretty yummy. Let's put you down so you can see what I'm doing, or if I'm doing it right or wrong. If you guys have any better suggestions or what I should be doing, please let me know, since I'd not made this one before. So I'm just going to dump it out. Well, hopefully. Oh yeah, it's coming. We're just going to dump it out. We'll try that again. Take out the wax paper. I mean, it's not wax. The parchment paper. So this candy is very sticky. I don't want any paper in my candy. Make sure I get every little bit. Okay. I'm thinking that I'm going to need to spray this knife, because I think that will be the best way to do it, and then we'll see. So my plan is to cut it in half. And remember, it is homemade candy, so it's not going to be perfect. Well, it's not sticking to the knife, and I thought it would, so that's nice. And that's how it looks inside. And then I'm going to cut each of these in half, and then in half again. And we're going to do it the other way as well. So they're going to be skinny, long pieces. It's not hard to cut, it's just kind of awkward. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And they're supposed to be, you know, like bite-sized pieces. So I feel like we're achieving that. I'm going to put this one back in here. I want to keep it in the fridge while I'm messing with this part. So then I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to cut this in half. Half again. And then these will be our pieces. These are good sized pieces. I was thinking it was going to be not as good, but. So my plan is to put them in here, but let's see if it's going to work. Just so they don't stick all together. Well, not like that. Maybe it's not going to work in there. Well, I guess that worked. I just don't want them to all stick together. So that's my plan. And you could put more of the nougat if you wanted. It's totally up to you, but they are cute. Super cute. All right, so I'm going to wrap a few. I think for me, I'm just going to do this so it sticks to the edge. Oh, I got two. And then just kind of fold, just kind of do it like this. And it's not going to be tight, but I just want it to be on there so that they don't stick together. Because it's a very sticky candy. That way I can just put them in my container, just like that. Well, I'm not going to bore you with all of this, putting them together. I'll do that separately, but you got the gist of it. They're super cute. This is how they look. And my husband will taste them for us. I will give him one now, and let's just go see. I'll see how he likes it. Thank you again. And until next time, make a fantastic day. Bye.